Hi guys, it's Tuesday and I have another Freckled Fawn Friday for you. This one is really cute, I think. I just thought I would use a bunch of my Freckled Fawn goodies and layer them up on the background, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. But this is a picture of Alan and I, otherwise known as Bab. And I just took a picture of us. We were in Waxahachie for a little weekend fun, and just we like to go to the scrapbook store there, and there's a quilt shop, and it's the historic district, and there's a little cafe where we can go and eat, and it's got really nice. It's like an older Southern style, um, very vintage antique type mix use for this little cafe. So it's just super sweet. And then they have a little local restaurant bar where you can have drinks out on the patio and watch the creek go by, and there's usually musicians outside, and it's usually like folk music or river music, something of that nature. So it's just a fun place to go visit, and I took a bunch of pictures of us while I was there. And so that's one of the pictures. I used the White American Crafts cardstock for my background and some Freckled Fawn washi tape. And I also used a 6x6 scrap that I had from an old 6x6 pad that was very neutral in colors. I don't have the label or that kind of information. And then I just grabbed some of my scraps, which is kind of typical Tuesday, and started going to town, layering up the picture with neutral backgrounds. And so you'll see that big space that I left there is going to get filled with lots of Freckled Fawn goodies. And I also use one of their large wood veneer, that piece right there, but I end up using the Versamark. Actually, I got some cheap off-brand because I couldn't find actual Versamark. And so I layered it up and got it really nice and wet, and that way I made sure that it was gonna this embossing powder would adhere, because it's kind of an older embossing powder, and it's also got the glitter in it, and I find when I use the embossing powder with glitter in it, it doesn't want to stick as well, so sometimes I have to do it twice. So I just got really heavy-handed with that fake Versamark stuff, and I think it turned out really great. And so I know a lot of people are coloring their wood veneers like this, and I thought I'd give it a try. I think I've done it once or twice before, but it's been a really long time. And it's also like a neutral gold color. It's called Zing Gold Glitter. And although it's more of a beige with like a diamond-y type hue to it, it does have some glitter, like gold glitter flecks in it. So it works out really well on this layout, and it doesn't overwhelm it's such a big title, it doesn't overwhelm the picture or take precedence over the picture, because I use that neutral embossing powder. So I really like that. And also, I think the Freckled Fawn embellishments are coming into play here, and that large globe, I think, works really well against that wood veneer, because it's such a large globe. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use that, but I think it turns out really proportional against that great day. And then the sun is, of course, all of the rest is Freckled Fawn, but the sun is like a little wood veneer as well, but it's painted, and the enamel epoxy, maybe not enamel, epoxy sticker that says awesome. I think that goes very well, because it was an awesome day. And then that little chipboard says having the time of my life. And I got the giggles off of a sheet that had a bunch of foam words on it. And I think I've used the majority of those words at this point because I've been doing so much with my Freckled Fawn. So I'm really digging into my Freckled Fawn and getting a lot of use out of it. I was so excited. I noticed on Instagram that I got selected on Instagram from Shop Freckled Fawn as the Freckled Fantastic Friday. I guess I got kudos for their pick of the week. And so that was really exciting. I really appreciated that. So here I'm going to bring in some little cork stickers and a little wood veneer. I actually think that one little wood veneer camera, it was in my bowl, so I don't think it's Freckled Fawn. I think it's Studio Calico. But these are little hearts that have gold inlines, and they match that fleck in the embossing powder really well, so it's just got a little hint of gold. And I'm just going to take a bunch of these like wood buttons, and I don't think the yay makes it. No, it doesn't make it on there. I'm going to end up painting that wood veneer that's from Studio Calico of the camera so that it matches, and I'll spritz it with some yellow color. It's called Mandarin Mai Tai by Shimmers, and it's from their colorings collection. Oh, and I'm sorry I'm out of frame. I've had to move my camera forward because I noticed I kept doing that because I had to push it so far back on my desk in order to get it in frame that it was not comfortable for me, so I kept pulling it forward, and then y'all can't see it, so I do apologize. I am working on a little cluster down at the bottom there with that word giggles, and hopefully I'll notice in a minute and push that up. But you're going to see me add a lot more to this center area. There's my glitter hearts that I always have in my bowl, and these white, yeah, I tried and interviewed black, but I don't think I like them. Oh, I didn't use the gold either. I ended up using some scrap paper that was like black with gold dots, and so I don't think you can see the dots, or maybe you can there, but that also picks up just a little hint of gold. And then the white fabric brads, of course, are Freckled Fawn. So are the little enamel hearts, and I've got some wood hearts that I'm going to bring in. I think those enamel hearts are Freckled Fawn. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. I don't know, they came in a little case, so probably not Freckled Fawn. But come on, Tuesday, push the layout up. Push it up so people can see. Oh, I definitely used some of their little labels that are translucent. It says, "Love is two people sharing one heart." And I took one of those little enamel hearts right below it, but I've got to adjust where that wood button is. So the wood button is just a little envelope with a red heart in it. So lots and lots of hearts. You know, I like to use lots and lots of hearts. I'm trying not to tear the paper there and just slightly move it. So I wish it was more in frame. I'm so sorry, guys. This is what happens. I get so into scrapbooking. I'm in that moment of creativity and I don't want to stop, and sometimes it just backfires on me, but I have fun. So I'm also putting another one of those labels that says, "So many of my smiles begin with you." And I am going to dive into some really old buttons. I'm using some of the Freckled Fawn little sparkly enamel dots, and they're kind of a peach and a pink. And even though there's not much of that color on here, it does go well because there are little hints of it, like in the epoxy sticker that says awesome, and in the wood button, and also some of the chipboard. So here's where I bring in some of those buttons. I have tons of buttons, and I find some little teenier ones that I can squeeze in between all of these hearts and put down at the bottom. And I've probably had those in my stash for years. I mean, literally like 12 years or something crazy like that. Probably 10 or 12, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I'm just using a little Scotch Quick Dry, or I guess it's called something else now. I can't keep up. Not sure why they changed the name. There we go. Oh, I pushed it up. You still can't see the whole thing though, but I did use some washi tape below, and that ice cream is also a painted wood veneer, and I added a little chipboard that says Final Destination. You can see that there. There it is. And then I sprinkled with some of that Mandarin Mai Tai from Shimmers, and that wraps it up. So I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you had a good Father's Day, and I appreciate you watching. Talk to you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.